A gold ring sits on the kitchen counter, phone glowing. Your calendar is full of her plans, none of yours. Schopenhauer would say, this is the will bending you. You call it love. It feels like slow surrender. You did not lose yourself in marriage. You traded yourself. You traded sleep, training, and silence for constant response. Every message becomes urgent, every call a small command. In the attention economy, your availability becomes proof of weakness. You think fatigue is the price of love, not of soft boundaries. Schopenhauer watched husbands age into background characters in their homes. You repeat them when you delete your own evenings without thought. You clear weekends for her family and cancel your own plans. You mistake compliance for kindness. You train her to ignore you. The throne you stepped down from is still in the room. No one stole it. You laid the crown on the floor. You avoid the mirror and the feed that shows you agreed. You believe this is what a good husband does for peace. You chose comfort over masculine sovereignty, and you feel small. Before sleep, write one boundary you dropped to keep the peace. Look at it once and admit you agreed to this. Choose to guard that single line more than her approval. To see what really weakened you, we have to ask what you refused to enforce. Schopenhauer is your guide into this darker room. He looks past the romance to the machinery underneath. He says, the will in you does not seek peace. It seeks continuation, more life, regardless of your happiness. Scroll long enough, and you feel that same pressure online. He sees the will in you as blind and hungry. It pulls you toward love, like gravity pulls you toward the ground. You feel chosen. He sees a program using you. In the attention economy, that program hijacks your focus. You live without boundaries and call the exhaustion devotion. In his time, he watched husbands become providers, then ghosts. Men who worked, paid, and aged in the background. You repeat them when you orbit her calendar, not yours. Your response windows belong to her moods and group chats. Screens amplify every request, shortening the space where you decide. For Schopenhauer, romantic love is a beautiful, efficient disguise. It hides the deal where you serve the species. You sign for feelings and receive obligations and fatigue. You believed a ring guaranteed desire, not new forms of suffering. Dating dynamics reward the man whose mission comes before any contract. Picture life as a chessboard, social proof watching from balconies. You slide your king forward, offering yourself as a piece. You sacrifice your future moves for a single intense moment. Masculine sovereignty dies slowly when you treat yourself like expendable material. Your marriage becomes a mirror, showing who really sits on the throne. You thought marriage ended competition. It only changed the rules you live by. You can keep playing blind or study what Schopenhauer already saw. You can resent women or learn how incentives shape behavior. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility inside this attention economy. Write one sentence on why you married or want marriage. In the attention economy, your reasons expose your priorities. Now we watch what happens when a man steps into this contract and forgets how he used to walk. Schopenhauer watches you fall in love with a picture. You meet her, and your hunger does the painting alone. You ignore incentives and call the feeling destiny. You stop counting costs and obsessively track chemistry. In the attention economy, fantasy outruns anything real. He sees love as the will using you for its own ends. You imagine depth and purity where there is drive. You project a savior and willingly erase her ordinary flaws. You bend your boundaries because you fear losing access. Your response windows shrink until her messages own you completely. Schopenhauer would say you bankrupt yourself in spirit first. In his world, men traded freedom for family reputation. You echo them when you reshape your life around her. You cancel training, silence friends, and abandon the rules you live by. Your dating dynamics slide, and you become easy to replace. Picture a chessboard where you sacrifice every strong piece. You push rooks and knights forward to prove devotion. You topple your king and insist this is romantic proof. Masculine sovereignty dies when you treat yourself like a pawn. Social proof applauds, but the mirror knows what you paid. Here, Jung appears once, naming what you already live unthinkingly. He would call it projection, chasing yourself in her eyes. You chase validation, not a woman standing in front of you. In the attention economy, this scarcity becomes your entire story. You do not love her. You negotiate against your own leverage. You tell yourself her expectations trap you. You are trapped by your refusal to see incentives. In dating dynamics, you call it unconditional love. You made it conditionless instead. You do not get trapped by her. You trap yourself. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility for your side of the board. List 3 things you stopped the moment she showed interest. Mark which were leverage and which were simple distractions. Choose to reclaim and guard it ruthlessly with a new boundary. In this attention economy, you either trade or hold. To see how deep this goes, ask what you chose to choose. Schopenhauer would tell you to inspect the burdens you carry, not the ones you complain about, the ones you accept silently. You call this love, but your calendar shows quiet surrender. Your character appears in chains you tolerate online and offline. Every time she cuts you off mid-sentence, you laugh it away. You mistake conflict avoidance for kindness and boundaries for cruelty. In this attention economy, she tests your time by default. Notifications stack, her calls repeat, response windows shrink around you. You answer instantly, proving availability rather than masculine sovereignty over your schedule. You think you are devoted. You have become permanently reachable. Schopenhauer chose solitude and criticism over domestic social proof and safety. He feared losing himself more than losing company or approval. You fear her disapproval more than losing your own inner voice. You volunteer for a life in which your needs remain unnamed. Modern dating dynamics reward the man who can calmly resist pressure. The man who never pushes back becomes scenery in his house. You become that man when you adjust everything, every single time. You quietly update the rules you live by to make yourself smaller. This relationship is a mirror, not a shield from the hard truth. It reflects your standards louder than her affectionate words on screen. You say she changed. Your calendar shows you changed first. You trained her to believe your time has almost no weight. Every conflict you dodge is a forge you refuse to enter. The fire starts small, raised voices, unread messages, sleeping back to back. You scroll to escape, wait for the storm to exhaust itself. You think you were trapped. You signed the contract in silence. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility for your side in the attention economy. Pick one recurring disrespect, interruption, sarcasm, or quiet cancellation of plans. Write the exact sentence you will speak the next time. Before we discuss attraction and desire, you have to face this mirror. Schopenhauer starts here, looking at the restless man she first met. You were in motion, training, building, saying no with ease. You followed the rules you live by, not every mood she felt. You were interested in dating dynamics because you had other things to do. Schopenhauer would say, the will loved that wild momentum in you. It promised her a future built on direction, not drift. Then commitment arrived, and your response windows shrank around her. You call this maturity, as your boundaries dissolve into soft agreements. Schopenhauer watches the swing between pain and dull boredom in marriage. You escape pain by dropping demands, then drown in stale days. You skip the gym, abandon your studies, and mute your own ambition. In the attention economy, you choose scrolling over the forge. Schopenhauer sees desire fade when you become very easy to predict. Your dating dynamics change the moment you stop growing at all. You check her phone more than you check your goals. She feels the loss of edge, even without naming it. Schopenhauer would call you a walking paycheck with dangerously softened edges. You handle duties, bills, and chores, while social proof applauds stability. You think you are a good husband, always available, agreeable. Masculine sovereignty erodes when you never choose yourself first on purpose. Schopenhauer knew that desire needs tension, not constant appeasement and access. When response windows shrink, you live on, her notifications alone. You become background sound in your own house and mind. Social proof loves domestication, and the mirror does not applaud it. Schopenhauer forces the question beneath conflict inside this attention economy. Are you stable or simply stagnant and quietly, deeply resentful? You confuse predictability with safety, though she already feels flatness rising. You mistake peace for silence, and silence for buried contempt. Strategy, not sin, in this attention economy of standards you keep. Choose one practice you killed after commitment, a pillar of masculine sovereignty. Schedule it this week and guard that block with rigid boundaries. Which means the question is, what standard do you choose? Schopenhauer begins here, with the simple claim about pain. You do not escape it. You trade forms. You either swallow yourself or swallow the conflict in front. Life still hurts, with or without glowing screens around you. He would stare into suffering rather than hide in comfort. He chose isolation over pretending he agreed with the online crowd. You choose masks, words, and swallowed anger with her. You tell yourself harmony is love, even as you think. In this attention economy, denying access comes with a price. When you say you are working, she may roll her eyes. Friends frame you as rigid. Family calls you inflexible, difficult. You start apologizing for boundaries before you even state them. You fear words like selfish more than losing your direction. You think conflict means something is broken inside the relationship. Often, it means you finally appeared with a standard in hand. Dating dynamics quietly reward the man who can walk away. They punish the man whom everyone must like. You orbit group chats instead of your mission and craft. Masculine sovereignty rots every time you trade truth for approval. Imagine the forge where steel hardens under repeated blows and the heat of fire. Every disagreement is that heat, testing the rules you live by. You duck the flames, scroll, and wait until she cools. Picture a throne where petitions arrive from screens and people. A king who refuses none loses land and soldiers. You grant every request and call it generosity. You open your heart. You wake up owned by notifications and expectations you helped build. You say you fear loneliness, empty weekends, and a cold bed. Schopenhauer would say, fear a life where you vanish instead. You already know it from late scrolling and silent resentment. You feel it every time you censor what you need. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility in this attention economy contract. Choose one place where you accept mockery or solitude to keep boundaries. Mark it, say no once, and notice that you finally survive. Once you accept that cost, you are ready to walk. Schopenhauer begins by turning your will inward. Instead of serving impulse, you aim it through the feed. You can decide in advance what you will not trade. You thought you were helpless. You were undisciplined. Boundaries become a structure in which masculine sovereignty survives the attention economy. He lived like this, with hours guarded like a monastery cell. You need your own version inside the attention economy pressure. You are not cruel for limiting access. You are precise. You thought love meant open borders. It meant clear rules you live by. Start with your throne, which is your schedule and body. Sleep, training, and deep work become non-negotiable pillars of time. Messages, calls, and group chats move around those fixed stones. You believed flexibility was kindness, while resentment slowly pooled underneath. Dating dynamics shift when she sees you protect those pillars. Schopenhauer would say, fewer promises make fewer chains on your neck. You promise less, and you deliver what you promised cleanly. Your response windows widen because you no longer receive notifications. You do not answer in panic. You answer from the center. You stop mistaking constant reassurance for love or masculine sovereignty. That was you, chasing reaction in dating dynamics, avoiding disapproval. Now imagine moving pieces by principle instead of panic and scarcity. You stay in motion, whether she applauds, withdraws, or tests you. You thought peace required agreement. It actually requires non-negotiable standards. The rules you live by are short, spoken, and easy to remember. No work during recovery, no phone in the training space, no canceling mission blocks for drama, no laughing off disrespect again. You think this will scare her. It actually makes you readable. In dating dynamics, clarity is rarer than charm or status symbols. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility for your hours, energy, and attention. Choose 3 non-negotiables for sleep, training, and deep work. Tell her one next time you meet, without apology or threat. Once your rules are set, you can finally see women, not as threats, but as allies, testing what you enforce. Schopenhauer is still our lens in this attention economy. He drew a harsh picture, shaped by his fears. You do not need his bitterness to keep his warning. You need his clarity about instinct, illusion, and control online. She is not pure. She is a human with drives. Her attraction and her tests move dating dynamics around you. She checks for security, strength, and alignment under pressure. You call these moments drama and miss the information. In modern dating dynamics, she tracks how you respond. Late texts, emotional storms, and social media under the pillow. The attention economy amplifies her anxiety and your reactions. You think she attacks you. She exposes your lack of boundaries. Schopenhauer feared being trapped by instinct, then used it and discarded it. You fear being controlled, mocked, or left to serve as social proof. You armor up, label her the problem, and stop listening. Masculine sovereignty cannot grow in a heart that blames outward. This relationship is a mirror, not social proof from heaven. Her reactions reflect your frame, more than your phrases. You say she is controlling. Your scattered rules you live by invite control. You think compliance is kindness. You train her to mistrust you. Conflict here is a forge, not just a storm to escape. Stand in the fire and track your breathing and tone. Choose response windows instead of instant flares or cold withdrawal. Dating dynamics change when you respond to standards instead of spikes. You think she is trying to control you completely. Often she asks whether you will control yourself. You call her the problem. Your lack of standards is workable. Strategy, not sin, in this attention economy of constant comparison. Next time you feel tested, pause and breathe one thoughtful breath. Ask yourself once, what standard of mine is being challenged now? Let that question matter more than the attention economy around her. With women reframed, only your own life remains as the mirror. Schopenhauer leaves you with this hard, clean choice. Life with her or without her, suffering is still guaranteed. In the attention economy, pain is better disguised. The question of whether you live as an instrument or an author. He chose clarity over comfort and long hours, alone with his thoughts. You do not need his bitterness to keep his courage. You need his lucidity about will, desire, and masculine sovereignty. Confused men drift. Clear men resist the attention economy with boundaries. Your mission is the throne, not her approval or ring. She is invited into the hall, not building it for you. You are not here to audition for anyone's constant validation. Dating dynamics bend toward the man who walks his own road. You mistook relationships for shelter from the weather of existence. Schopenhauer would say, no shelter from suffering. In dating dynamics, everyone trades comfort against growth and direction. There is only the dignity of choosing where you will bleed. Boundaries are the frame that keeps your life from dissolving. You thought saying no made you cold or unloving inside. In reality, boundaries keep love from rotting into quiet resentment. In the attention economy, soft men without standards get swallowed. She does not need a servant of her moods and scarcity. She needs a man with rules, clear expectations, and measurable direction. When you stand on mission first, her tests lose their terror. Dating dynamics reorganize around the man who can lose her. Picture chess where you never sacrifice the king for the sake of feeling. You play long games, even when passion spikes or dips around. In this market of dating dynamics, you refuse panic trades. You are willing to walk away rather than betray your standards. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility, not blame, in the attention economy. Block 2 hours for your mission within 3 days. Gym, study, business, or craft, guarded behind digital boundaries. In the next 24 hours, your entire future bends entirely around what you choose.